All right, so get ready for this one. We're doing a deep dive into a soup. I mean, it's not just any soup. It's what's called Velvety Midnight.
Oh, wow. Okay, that sounds very dramatic.
Right, that's what caught my eye too, right?
Yeah.
So we got this recipe sent in, and let me tell you, it's got some pretty unique ingredients. We're talking like black beans, dark chocolate, charcoal salt, the whole shebang.
Velvety Midnight with all that. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a pretty unique culinary experience.
Exactly. So I figured we got to like really unpack this. You know, what's the deal with this soup? Why these ingredients? What's the story here?
Yeah, I'm intrigued. Let's break it down.
Okay, so first things first. Black beans. Not really the first thing that comes to mind when I think soup. What's the history there?
Yeah, it's funny because black beans actually have a really rich history going way back. If you look at like ancient Mayan culture, they were a big deal. Oh yeah, totally. They thought black beans were like sacred, represented all sorts of stuff like the underworld, rebirth, big concepts.
Oh, okay. So they're more than just a side dish then?
Way more. And not just the Mayans either. Black beans have been around the block, like across continents, cultures, all over the place.
You mentioned something about a hidden history of black beans. What's that all about?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they weren't just food, right? Like, yeah, they kept people fed, but they also ended up tied into like cultural identity. And get this, some cultures even used them in like old school medicine.
Wow. So they've been around for a while. Okay, so black beans, check. But then there's this other ingredient that kind of throws me off. Dark chocolate in soup.
I know, right? It sounds a little wild, but think of it this way. Dark chocolate can add a whole other level to savory dishes.
Wait, so we're not talking like dessert sweet here?
No. It's not about that sugary sweetness. It's the bitterness, the earthiness, the good stuff you get from like high percentage cacao.
So how does that work?
Well, when you get those flavors right, balanced out with everything else, it actually makes the savory flavors even stronger. Gives the whole soup a like more interesting, complex taste,
I'm starting it. It's kind of like mole sauce, right? That uses chocolate too.
Bingo. Exactly. Mole is a perfect example. It's all about like understanding those little flavor nuances and how different ingredients play off each other.
Got it. Okay, now charcoal salt, another one that seems a little out there for soup. Is it just for show or does it actually do something flavor-wise?
Oh, it definitely does more than just look cool.
Yeah.
Charcoal, right, it's got this porous structure, which means it can basically act like a filter. It grabs onto those bitter compounds that might overpower everything else and kind of neutralizes them.
Oh, so it's like refining the taste.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it as like polishing the flavor. It smooths things out, lets the other subtler flavors shine through. And of course, it gives the soup that striking black color.
So we've got black beans with a whole history. Dark chocolate doing savory things, and charcoal salt making it taste and look amazing. In this recipe, it suggests serving this velvety midnight soup at like a Halloween party or a gothic dinner party or something.
I mean, yeah, it definitely fits that vibe, doesn't it? But I could also see it like being a conversation starter at all sorts of gatherings.
Totally. And it's not just about Halloween. Like black food, it has all sorts of meanings in different cultures, right?
Absolutely. It can be tied to like mystery, transformation, all sorts of interesting concepts. This soup, it's almost like it makes you think, it challenges what you expect from food.
So to recap, we've got the black beans, a total blast from the past, the dark chocolate, not just for dessert anymore, and charcoal salt, which is more than meets the eye.
It all comes together in this like symphony of flavor and visual impact.
So listeners, imagine serving this velvety midnight soup to your friends. What kind of conversations would it spark? What stories would come up around the table? This is more than just a meal, right? It's an experience.
It definitely makes you think about food in a whole new light.
It's like a culinary adventure.
Exactly. And who knows what other surprising combinations are out there waiting to be discovered.
Yeah, it's something to think about.
Definitely. Food for thought, literally.
All right, that's our deep dive into velvety midnight soup. Until next time.
See you then.